We're back. Our special guest this morning is Public Education Officer of the Dominica Sewage and Water Management Company, Miss Rhoda John. A very, very special morning to you, and thank you so much for taking the time out of your busy schedule to meet with us. How are you this morning?
Good morning. I am doing fine, and good morning to all the listeners of Q95 Radio this morning. And here this morning, Rhoda St. John, Public Education Officer for the Dominica Solid Waste Management Corporation.
Apologies. Okay, so that's the DSWMC.
Yeah.
Sorry, don't ask what is on my mind. So yes, Miss Rhoda St. John. So well, this morning in particular, I want us to talk about the improvement to our garbage collection and garbage disposal in Dominica, and focusing on the government's promises made recently, how well that aligns with the strategic plan of the DSWMC. So especially for the listeners, I want to just read out some notes I placed together and play a few inserts just to bring everything to context or in context. So recently, the Minister for Finance, that is the Honorable Dr. Irvin McIntyre, he pledged to reform the management and operations of the DSWMC. Again, it's the Dominica Solid Waste Management Corporation. This as a major fire incident in the tire section at our Stock Farm landfill negatively affected the residents, in Stock Farm and the nearby areas, with some air pollution there sometime in June. The minister, that is Honorable Dr. Irvin McIntyre, claims that the efforts of the government of Dominica in procuring some 6 new garbage trucks, the decentralization of a new landfill as well, will be designed to handle white goods and tires, while a new dump site for derelict vehicles will be established in strengthening local authorities to provide oversight for the collection of garbage in various districts. Here is the finance minister speaking on that. Let me just play that quickly.
Multivitamin can fill the gap. To continue to address the challenges of waste management, government will reform the operations of the Dominica Solid Waste Management Corporation so that it could better fulfill its mandate with greater efficiency, ensuring timely collection and adherence to established schedules. To support this effort, the government is undertaking several key initiatives during this fiscal year. 6 new garbage trucks have been procured. 2 of these trucks will arrive by August 1st, 2025, while the remaining 4 are currently en route and are expected to arrive by early October 2025. We have begun work on the decentralization of the landfill from Stock Farm to relieve pressure on a single location and better serve communities in other areas. We will establish a dedicated dump site for derelict vehicles, while white goods and tires to address environmental and safety concerns. Furthermore, collection of garbage will be decentralized with trucks positioned across districts, and local authorities will be empowered and incentivized to collect and provide oversight. Government will also purchase 4 additional tipper trucks, which will be placed in select communities to enhance the collection and disposal processes.
Okay, so we're looking at basically 10 trucks, 6 garbage trucks, and 4 tipper trucks. Okay. Additionally, the Honorable Finance Minister, he also announced an increase in public education and promotion. I suspect you will be heavily engaged moving forward by the ministry in that. Here is again Dr. Mack's statement regarding enhancing public education on garbage disposal.
Structure and strengthen the operational capacity of the corporation, including increased staffing and resources to improve coverage and service quality, and also Public education and promotion of greater community responsibility will be heightened by encouraging and supporting citizens to properly sort, store, and dispose of waste, and to take ownership of the cleanliness of their surroundings. Mr. Speaker, the government accepts full responsibility for the collection and disposal of solid waste in Dominica, and will make no excuses in ensuring that this is done effectively and efficiently. The actions which I have articulated this morning will no doubt enhance the corporation capacity to deliver improved services across the island.
Okay, there you have it. I just wanted to play that for context. Very, very relevant. So let's go to you, Ms. St. John. Again, thank you for coming. How does the Dominica Solid Waste Management Corporation plan to support or align with the waste management and environmental priorities now outlined in the 2025-2026 national budget?
I want to start by saying and thanking the government of Dominica for their continued support to the Dominica Solid Waste Management Corporation. And I would definitely let the public know that the Honorable Minister of Finance, Dr. Irvin McIntyre, in his statement during the national budget was exactly correct in what he said. Today, I can attest that we have 2 of the garbage trucks already on island and will be clearing today. So definitely the words that he spoke in Parliament is already coming into fruition. And we already have 2 of those trucks promised to the Dominica Solid Waste Management Corporation and the island of Dominica on island, and they are, as we speak, in process of clearing them. So the promises made are the promises kept. So we just want to say thank you to the government of Dominica for what you are doing and the support that is being played to and executed for the improvement of the Dominica Solid Waste Management Corporation. And as he said, 2 would be on island, and they are on island, and the other 4 is already en route and on its way to Dominica, where we will see the other 4 trucks coming in later down this year. This is a direct and significant investment in the operational capacity of the Dominica Solid Waste Management Corporation. In addition to the 6 new trucks, we will address the logistical challenges of waste collection in Dominica, which is often including and aging fleets of our inadequate coverages. So yes, we have trucks on the landfill, but you know, it's a vehicle. The garbage truck is just like your car. The garbage truck is just like your van. The garbage truck is like any other operational vehicle on the road. So obviously maintenance is key. They're not going to survive 15, 20 years and you expect them to be the same as when they're brand new and they just came in. So yes, those that we presently have has been there for a while and age has catched up with some of them. So the government saw that and they recognized the strain that is on the corporation in terms of vehicles and trucks to actually service the country. Thus, they have come on board, saw the need, and actually is enhancing our fleet of trucks.
You mentioned, just off the cuff, you mentioned maintenance, but I'll save that question for later, I suspect. My next question, were any specific allocations or new initiatives for solid waste management recycling infrastructure announced by the Minister of Finance? And how does the DSWMC plan to utilize these?
The corporation did roll out a very informative and a very well-structured recycling program from last year into this year with the Recycle OECS demonstration program. And we saw how effective that was. And I can definitely give some stats that we collected over 400,000 plastic bottles. We were able to ship out 2 40-foot containers of plastic bottles. And because we've done well in actually the recycling department and actually getting the schools to come on board, the businesses to come on board, it is no doubt that we can continue to enhance the recycling program where we take it from a school level into a community level, and where we will now be getting the communities to assist us in the recycling program. So whilst we started at the school level with the recycle demonstration project, we are now branching out into the communities where we will now do an educational program with the various village councils, with the various communities, and to get them to champion the recycling program as we extend it from schools to communities.
This is very, very interesting. I like that, the recycling part, and the moving forward from just on a school level to now
A
community level. I suspect we'll touch on that a little later. With increasing emphasis on climate resilience and sustainability in national policy, we hear that word a lot these days. Is the Dominica Solid Waste Management Corporation considering public-private partnerships or new technologies to enhance waste processing at our landfill?
Oh, but definitely, that is a discussion that the corporation have been having for some time now, and we have actually had discussions with a few businesses here on island for the EPR program, the Extended Producers Responsibility. Well, that's what EPR means, and what that basically tells us is how do we get the stakeholders, the private sector, the public sector to come on board, work with the Dominica Solid Waste Management Corporation so that we can see a better management of not just recyclables, but garbage collection. If we look around, especially in the city of Roseau, on afternoons when the businesses are about to close down, you just see boxes upon boxes by lampposts in Roseau,
Yep.
or by the garbage bins. With that, with the EPR system, we would now train, educate, and that's where our public education program is going to be rolled out, where we'll be able to work with the stakeholders, work with our partners to create a better way of managing their waste from their businesses, from their homes, so that we can all now see a proper waste management plan being rolled out, because the Dominica Solid Waste Management Corporation cannot do it alone. So at the end of the day, when the businesses come on board, you sell produce. This is a produce that the customers are bringing home, that they're using to cook, that they're now putting back into the environment. So if we at the Dominica Solid Waste Management Corporation can educate the businesses on how to manage your waste, what we can do with recycling, what we can do with the materials that you import, for us, the consumers, to use, then we will see a better, proper management of waste being done on the island.
It's a collective responsibility.
It's a collective responsibility, and we understand that. And along with the corporation and the Ministry of Environment, because we are very much supported by the Minister of Environment, Honorable Kozia Frederick, and as you heard the Finance Minister, Dr. Irvin McIntyre, said, the government is fully backing the Dominica Solid Waste Management Corporation in proper waste management, because that's the only way we are actually going to keep our environment clean, and we're going to keep Dominica being the first climate resilient country. So together, it's a collective approach.
Well said, because again, I speak with a lot of people in different districts, and a lot of the hoteliers are telling me they understand it's a collective responsibility. Their hope is that the people, the nation gets it, that we market tourism. We want people to come here. We market Dominica as the nature island. And if they come here and the place is dirty and smelly, it's a literal opposition to
that is very
to market in the country. And so we're now building an international airport, which is expected to increase access to our destination.
Right.
And so we, as you said, have a collective responsibility.
And that is where the public education comes in.
Yeah.
And as you heard the Minister of Finance, Honorable Dr. McIntyre, stated that there will be an increase in the public education department of the Dominica Solid Waste Management Corporation.
Yeah.
Right now, one person cannot do everything. But if you have a team of persons that are well trained, then they can go out into the various communities, various districts, even work with the local government authorities, with the DDOs and the DDAs, and we'll be able to now have community sessions, go one-on-one into the various communities, get the information that is required into the hands of the public that they can be able to manage their waste. We have been pushing for the past 3 years, we've been pushing sorting at source. How do you sort at source? What is meant by sorting at source? And if we, the residents and the individuals of our various communities and homes, were to sort at source and sort properly, I am promising you, we will not have a garbage issue in this country, and we will reach our goal of being the climate resilient country that we speak of. So the public education department is important in reaching our goal where we want to see the nature island clean and green.
So when we talk about, because this word keeps coming up, when we talk about solutions to the country, working with various, interviewing various statutory bodies, the word or the phrase that keeps coming up is private-public partnerships, PPPs.
Right.
Even in manufacturing, we had a very, very impactful program yesterday on manufacturing, specific to the water sector. And PPPs came up again. So
because it's important.
It's a collective thing, you know. So it's a conversation we would have to explore further. But let me just ask you if you could speak to any planned upgrades or expansions to Dominica's national recycling program. I said we would come back to that.
Right.
Particularly in relation to the budget's focus on environmental health and going green.
But definitely, at the end of the day, if we take care of our environment, we'll be healthier. There's no doubt about it. Because if you're drinking a bottle of water, right? You're drinking a bottle of water. What is your responsibility as an individual? Your responsibility as an individual is to not take that bottle because you're walking through Roseau or walking through any of the communities in Dominica, and because you're done drinking the bottle of water, to just send it on the sidewalk or send it in the bush next to the road or put it in the gutter. If each and every individual understands that their role is to hold that bottle until they reach a bin, definitely we will see an improvement in the way we manage our waste. We will see an improvement in recycling. We have been speaking from a corporation level. How do we now engage the various communities? And that again comes back to the public education department. How do we engage the communities to take ownership of proper waste management? How do we engage the local government authorities and which comes down to the village councils, to work with the Dominica Solid Waste Management Corporation and take responsibility for proper waste management in their villages, in their communities? While we're now talking about doing recycling hubs in various communities, where persons will now separate, and the actual physical activity of separating your waste at source and managing your waste from home will then be implemented practically, because you now have recycling hubs in the various communities where your plastic bottles, glass bottles, and tin cans will not be in your general waste. They definitely will not be in your general waste, because you have a hub within your community or close to your community that you can collect your recyclables and take them to that hub. So they will no longer be part of your general waste. So if we can do that, and that is one of the discussions that's now on the table, if you can have the recycling hubs, and those hubs can now serve within the communities where you can now take those out of your general waste, we are on our way to what we call keeping Dominica clean and green.
Excellent. I want to see that happen. I'll tell you that straight up, because we need to go there. It's the right thing to do. We are the nature island of the Caribbean, and I think step by step as we move forward, recycling has to be big.
Very big on our agenda, yes.
Yeah, not just for cleaning, but also the economic part of it.
Yes.
You mentioned we are exporting some of the... We are, okay.
Yes, we
And so finding more markets as we export more of this waste material out to, I guess, territories where they actually do the processing and the recycling, right?
That is true, but then we also have to look within and recognize, listen, it is we sometimes tend to leave everything up to our government.
Mm.
Our government works with us. They work for us and with us. Our
Mm.
job is to work with them. So at the end of the day, 2, 3, 4 young people can sit down, come up with a plan. They can do a recycling factory in Dominica. That means they're gonna get other young people employed,
Mm. Mm.
because there is room for employment in this country. They will get the support and the backing from the government, and you create an industry where you do a recycling factory. You get the bottles to come to you. You give persons a payback on, if it's a 25 cents or 10 cents on every bottle collected. You will not see bottles in the environment. You take those bottles, they come to you at your factory. You then shred them and you turn the plastics into commodities.
Mm.
So you
Mm.
now have that to put back on the market, resell, and make a profit or money out of that. These are things that we need to start to
Yeah, we
look
need to.
at.
Yeah, we need
These
to
are the
explore the
conversations we need to explore.
very seriously.
Dominica Solid Waste Management Corporation, yes, we are playing our part. The government is doing everything to work with us, but we as individuals also need to open our minds, change our mindsets,
Mm.
and see, listen, I'm going to put it like that. Garbage is money.
It is.
It is money.
Mm.
We now have to look as to where that money is and to be able to extract it and turn it into physical cash. There is our waste is a rich resource that we need to tap into.
Let's talk just off the cuff. Let's talk oversight, monitoring, and evaluation. You mentioned some initiatives taking place. The Honorable Minister of Finance also made some pronouncements. Um, do you know what is in place to ensure that these things actually happen? Which team is given that mandate to provide oversight?
That it is still being processed. As you said, budget just passed and they did make the announcement in Parliament.
Mm.
But at the end of the day, when Parliament is over, the structures have to be put in place.
Yes.
So presently, the structures are being put in place.
Okay.
The teams are being built. So to be able to sit here and say, well, this team, that team, I cannot speak to it just yet
At this
because
time.
it is still in process.
Okay. Okay. Given the growing concern around the illegal dumping and public sanitation, how will the corporation strengthen enforcement, community outreach, or educational campaigns in the upcoming fiscal year? Some specifics.
Okay, you're looking for specifics, especially we have hotspots. We call them hotspots.
Mm.
The hotspots are the illegal dumping, where persons just feel it is okay to dump on our over our cliffs, our valleys. Even we have persons, and we're thankful for the persons who are taking videos of illegal dumping, because now it is deterring people from doing illegal dumping because they're not sure who is seeing them and who is videoing them.
Mm.
So we thank the people that are doing the videos for that. But one of the things that is being implemented and looked at for the hotspots, which is the illegal dumping aspects of it, myself and the recycling officer, Miss Shamara Daisy, we actually went to Grenada and did a drone course, how to use a drone, how to maximize the use of a drone, so that and under that program, they are actually procuring a few drones for the Dominica Solid Waste Management Corporation that we would be able to use and go on the shorelines where our boats are not passing, individuals cannot go, and we would be able to see the level of garbage or waste that persons are disposing in the territory, in those areas, which goes down to our oceans.
Mm-hmm.
And then it creates that problem within our ocean and marine space. So Dominica Solid Waste Management Corporation is and has been taking proactive measures to put things in place and to train staff to be able to look at those and to see how we can implement measures to prevent illegal dumping.
You know, I feel really good, honestly, specifically hearing those pronouncements from the minister. and getting that assurance from you as a public education officer of the Dominica Solid Waste Management Corporation. Um, we really want to see it happen, and I suspect
It's happening.
it's happening.
It's
We have the 2
happening.
trucks already, but I suspect the listeners, some of the listeners of Q95 FM, will be paying very keen attention to the DSWMC moving forward.
I want everybody to pay attention to DSWMC.
I want to move on to a little touchy subject as it relates to finance, but on the citizen side.
Sure.
The minister recently made an announcement stating that at some point, and to an extent, I agree with him because this is not new in a lot of countries. He said, we will actually have to come to this honorable house to discuss a payment made, to DSWMC to ensure the maintenance of the vehicles being used and to continue to ensure the effective operation of the administration of DSWMC. As to what that is, of course, he did not give any details. He just threw it in the air. But you could tell he was serious by his tone. And I just wanna play that quickly.
At some point, Mr. Speaker, we as citizens and residents of our beautiful country will need to have a conversation about our individual financial contribution towards the collection and disposal of our waste. Clearly, the idea that government should do it alone must come to an end. So at some point, Mr. Speaker, after consultations, we'll have to return to this honorable house to present recommendations from the general public about our individual and collective financial contributions to the collection and disposal of our waste in Dominica, to preserve the health of our environment and uphold our standing as the nature island of the Caribbean.
That was very well said by our Minister of Finance, Dr. Honorable Irvin McIntyre. And I would like to just support what he's saying. Listen, who is the producers of waste? If I'm to ask that question to the general public, who is the producers of waste? The response to that is me, you, each and every one of us that goes to the supermarket and purchase commodities that we can go home because we must eat. We must eat. So at the end of the day, we are the ones, the individuals, the people, us, the citizens of the Commonwealth of Dominica are the producers of waste. Now, in other countries, waste, their garbage collection is being financed through a fee. In Barbados, it's on their electricity bill. In Grenada, it's on their electricity bill. They do pay for waste management services. Dominica, we are not paying and we're getting a service for free, and then we beat down the government, we beat down solid waste, but then we are picking up your garbage. It is time that we, the consumers, take responsibility. When you buy a vehicle, you do not ask the government to pay your license and insurance. When you build a house, you do not ask the government to pay your insurance for your house. When you go to school, the government do assist with school fees. But if you go to get, a lot of us get our degrees and we have to put in some form of financial contribution to our school fees. Even if we get scholarships, we have to pay for our accommodations, we have to pay for different things and for feeding ourselves whilst our education, probably you get a scholarship to get your degree. But there is some responsibility on the individual to accomplish anything that you need to accomplish in life. Our job as individuals, and I'm not talking from a solid waste standpoint, I'm talking from an individual standpoint, where we now have to take ownership of our garbage. So if at some point the government has to go back to Parliament to say, listen, residents of the Commonwealth of Dominica, we would like you to pay $30 towards your garbage collection fee, that should not be a problem. We are the ones producing the waste. I'm not saying that it's $30. Please do not quote me and say that it's $30. Let that be clear. I did not say the fee is going to be $30. This was an example. So whatever amount that the government is going to attach, whether to the water or the light bill, so that there can be that responsibility on our part for the maintenance of Dominica, for the maintenance of waste collection by the Dominica Solid Waste Management Corporation. As individuals, we should be ready and willing to do so, because at the end of the day, all of us produce waste, and with that financial contribution, you would see a better collection system. You would see a greener, beautiful, cleaner Dominica. You would also be able, the people making noise that their garbage is not collected now have reason to do so, because you're now paying a fee, and the onus is on us now to ensure that your garbage is collected. But I do believe that as individuals in the Commonwealth of Dominica, we should be ready and willing to make a financial contribution towards garbage collection and maintenance.
As we're on that topic, something that I have noticed through my conversations with people of concern is the use of the environmental levy. The Dominica Solid Waste Act which was pretty much enacted by our present government 2002, I believe. Not sure exactly what the value was agreed on.
I'm not sure. No, I'm not.
But persons are saying that for some time, since 2002, this has been collected, and we know the levy is supposed to be used in part of assisting the Dominica Solid Waste in the management of waste in plastics and so on. They're asking what has been done with that money. Has that money been doing anything? To the point where now we kind of have to go back to the drawing board and initiate these modern initiatives to boost waste disposal and collection activities in our country. And so they're asking what was done with that money, and why now is the minister discussing a separate cost? Is not the environmental levy covering that?
Let me answer this. Let me answer that this way. There is an environmental tax levy at the customs at the port. Do we really think that this is enough to assist in waste management? No, it's not. The answer is no, it's not. And at the end of the day, the person's mindset is that all of the levy, whatever they collect, goes directly into waste management. No, it doesn't. Because you have environmental health. You have other departments that has to also benefit from that. Solid waste do get what it has to get, but at the end of the day, is that enough? It's never enough, especially the amount of waste that we are generating.
So there are multiple mouths to feed from that level.
Exactly, and we can put it like that. So at the end of the day, if you have a specific financial set specific for waste collection that goes to the Dominica Solid Waste Management Corporation, it will definitely play a bigger role in how we at the corporation manages and help to manage waste on the island. Specifically in, like vehicles are babies, you know that.
Mm-hmm.
If you have a vehicle, you know that a vehicle is a baby.
Yeah.
So you have a car or a Jeep and it's a baby. Think of a truck.
A truck, yeah.
And think of your vehicle probably parked whilst you're at work or when you're home. But think of that truck that is working constantly and beating those terrains that we have. Maintenance is top priority.
Yeah.
So yes, we have to have everybody. You have a job and you're still looking for something else to help because you figure what you're doing not enough. The levy is not enough. And If we have to increase it, Dominicans will ball. So
to what
hey,
is actually needed.
exactly. So at the end of the day, yes, a financial assistance has to be implemented to assist,
Cushion,
to
okay.
get what needs to be done.
So the idea is not to make Dominicans foot the entire bill
Not
of
at
the
all.
Dominica Solid Waste
Not
Management
at all.
Corporation. It is to, in fact, cushion the
To a want of a better word.
Okay. That puts things into perspective, I'm sure, for a lot of our listeners, that the environmental levy is not specific, is not targeted only to the Dominica Solid Waste Management
And I think
Corporation.
persons need to know that, so they will take out the notion that solid waste getting a big money.
Because you
so
would
they
have
should be able
gotten,
to-
you would have
to
got the
manage their
idea,
stuff.
because I'm reading the Act 17 of 1996, Section 14, subsection 1. And from there, it's basically stating who the minister appoints and where all that money goes. It's really not specific only to the
exactly.
Yeah. So I think I get some re-education there, and
Exactly.
so some re-education there. So we really, Dominicans, we're gonna have to take this very, very seriously moving forward, and come to somewhat of a consensus in cushioning the bill to manage waste in our country. As and again, we're expecting more people coming into Dominica prior to the completion of the international airport. You can just imagine when the proposed international airport is completed and the proposed marina is completed, the influx of people.
But even for World Creole Festival,
on a daily
we have an
basis,
influx of persons, and we should be able to
we have to
work
prepare
with.
for that.
We have to prepare for that, and as a
Yeah.
corporation, we have our work cut out for us. But we alone, as we say, cannot do it. We need all hands on deck to be able to keep Dominica pristine and green.
Mr. John, I want to thank you for coming in this morning. The conversation was very much enlightening. And of course, again, persons will be keeping a very close eye on all the promises made, because a lot of people want to see the garbage situation improve, so to speak, in our country. And I guess I'll be taking some calls very soon. The call has been going, callers have been going since we began speaking. So you can tell that this is affecting a lot of people.
Yes,
they're very concerned. And so I really want to thank you for bringing some semblance of clarity to what the DSWMC plans to do in line with the ministry. You mentioned the importance of the PPPs.
Yes.
Public-private partnerships, and so corporate Dominica definitely needs to come on board.
For sure.
Right.
And I would just like to let the public know that we are still not taking metal, tires, and white goods grass on the landfill, because we're still putting things in place after the fire. So presently, we are not taking any metals, tires, white goods, or grass on the landfill. We will let you know when we have opened back up for that.
Let me just pick on you a little bit there. Any revelation on the specific site for the landfill?
No, you're gonna have to wait on that.
we look forward to that announcement. Yeah. But thanks again for coming in, and I wish you a blessed day as well.